There's a new article that's out in Tablet magazine written by a man named David Samuels. David Samuels interviewed Obama's biographer, historian David Garrow, who wrote the definitive biography on Obama. But what's funny about this is no one really paid attention to this definitive biography of Obama because Obama wrote his own autobiography. And his own autobiography has been a wild bestseller, Dreams of My Father. We've all heard it. We all see it in every bookstore that we ever go in. But David Garrow, who wrote Obama's real biography, essentially contends that Obama revised history, that he whitewashed who he was to make himself look like, well, this princeling that just rose from this terrible oppressed situation and became president of the United States. And I want to read a little bit of this article with you because there's some really fascinating things that he wrote. So this is what David Samuels writes. He writes, "There's a fascinating passage in Rising Star, David Garrow's comprehensive biography of Barack Obama's early years, in which the historian examines Obama's account in Dreams from My Father of his breakup with his longtime Chicago girlfriend, Sheila Mayoshi Yeager. In Dreams, Obama describes a passionate disagreement following a play by African-American playwright August Wilson, in which the young protagonist defends his incipient embrace of Black racial consciousness against his girlfriend's white-identified liberal universalism. As readers, we know that the stakes of this decision would become more than simply personal. The Black American man that Obama wills into being in this scene would go on to marry a Black woman from the South Side of Chicago named Michelle Robinson, and after a meteoric rise, win election as the first Black president of the United States. Yet, what Garrow documented after tracking down and interviewing Sheila Mayoshi Yeager was an explosive fight over a very different subject." And I think, guys, here's where Obama's revisionist history comes to light. In Yeager's telling, the quarrel that ended the couple's relationship was not about Obama's self-identification as a Black man. And the impetus was not a play about the American Black experience, but an exhibit at Chicago's Spertus Institute about the 1961 trial of Adolf Eichmann. He is, of course, exactly what you would think. It's about the Holocaust. He goes on to say, at the time that Obama and Sheila visited the Spertus Institute, Chicago politics was being roiled by a Black mayoral aide named Steve Coakley, who, in a series of lectures organized by Louis Farrakhan's Nation of Islam, accused Jewish doctors in Chicago of infecting Black babies with AIDS as part of a genocidal plot against African Americans. The episode highlighted a deep rift within the city's power echelons, with some prominent Black officials supporting Coakley and others calling for his firing. In Yeager, Obama's ex-girlfriend's recollection, what set off the quarrel that precipitated the end of the couple's relationship was Obama's stubborn refusal, after seeing the exhibit and in the swirl of this Coakley affair, to condemn Black racism. While acknowledging that Obama's embrace of a Black identity had created some degree of distance between the couple, she insisted that what upset her that day was Obama's inability to condemn Coakley's comments. It was not Obama's Blackness that bothered her, but that he would not condemn anti-Semitism. So I find this fascinating because think about the photograph that was hidden during Obama's 2007-2008 presidential campaign, the first time that he ran for office. What photograph was hidden from us? The photograph of Barack Obama as a senator standing next to who? Standing with the Congressional Black Caucus, who had invited Louis Farrakhan to come and speak to them. And this photograph was hidden from us by the mainstream media, the Chicago Democrat machine, because why? Because they didn't want Barack Obama associated with Louis Farrakhan, a rabid anti-Semite who they thought Obama had associated with too closely. And it's very valid criticism to condemn someone who has willingly associated with a rabid anti-Semite like Louis Farrakhan.